Hello and welcome to your in-depth forecast for week commencing the 4th of October for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to give you a brief overview of the key elements of this week before going on to give you your detailed Zodiac forecast, so please stay with me. The standout event of this week is the Libra new moon, which occurs on Wednesday. Also, Pluto, the planet of transformation, ends a long retrograde on this day. But the new moon is particularly unique because it's very close to Mars, the planet of drive and passion, and a planet which is actually in its detriment in the sign of Libra. Libra is about finding consensus, celebrating the things we have in common. It is about trying to achieve a degree of harmonization. But sometimes Libra energy can attract from other people almost an assumption that the Libran type energy of giving and being very accommodating and attuned to another person, some people take that for granted. So Mars can be a very good thing in that regard and see us assert our boundaries in a more robust way. But also Uranus is in a 150 or quincunx angle to the new moon, and that's quite a rebellious influence in Taurus. So I think this could be a week when there's some intense discussions over finances for many people. Also Mercury in its retrograde squares with Pluto on Monday and Tuesday. So Mercury being retrograde when there is the new moon is another hint that we have to work hard at our listening skills and try to contain our frustration if not everybody quite gets our drift straight away. But I think some relationships will go through some big transitions this week because by Thursday, Venus, the ruler of Libra, moves into Sagittarius. This is an excellent location to think about the truth of relationships, to seek freedom if a relationship hasn't been working, to be open-minded about the type of people we can connect with. Because one of the things that I think is wonderful to do with Libran energy is to celebrate the things we have in common and not focus always on the things that separate us, that make us different. So there are opportunities this week for us all, and please stay with me for your detailed forecast. But if you are new to me or my channel, I would be honoured if you would subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. Also, if you'd like to get your free written daily horoscope fired to your device each morning, you can do so by subscribing below. I've been writing these for many years, over 25 years, and my work is featured all around the world and in Britain's most read daily newspaper. So you can get yours free by subscribing below. And with year 2022 racing up, if you'd like to get your personal forecast based on your time, date and place of birth, and you order it now, you can get the rest of this year free, plus a character analysis, and also 30% off, all based on you. No two charts are the same, can give you searing insights of the opportunities ahead. Hello Capricorn and welcome to your in-depth forecast for week commencing the 4th of October. Your sector of success is really in the spotlight this week. Now of course there's a new moon, so a new moon provides a structure where we can set our intentions, and that lasts for the next month. So if you work within a big organisation or a sector where you have a very clear understanding of what's expected of you and you're quite happy to conform to those expectations, having Mars alongside the new moon will give you a lot of extra drive to power towards whatever goals and targets you have. But if you're more of a free spirit, that's where this particular new moon can actually be quite challenging, because on Monday and Tuesday Mercury's retrograde in square with Pluto, which occurred last week as well, that's continuing to potentially cause mischief. So Pluto has been asking you since 2008 to manifest your individuality, to not be quite so focused on doing what other people expect of you, but instead following your own heart. But because Mercury's retrograde, obviously there can be misunderstandings, missed calls, text messages, all that kind of stuff. But just getting the balance between your thinking and ideas, if you are very much more individualistic, is a bit more strained by that aspect on Monday and Tuesday. Then on the new moon itself, because Mars is so potent, and alongside the moon can create a kind of almost a volatility, but also all of them, the Mars position, the Sun and the Moon together in Libra, despite Libra being about balance, they are in a quincunx with Uranus. And Uranus is in your sector of really being very self-expressive in a much more free, radical way. It's not following the rules. It's about being inventive, imaginative, innovative, trying different approaches. So if you work in an environment where you're trying to push back against all of that, and you're really showing the courage to assert that you have the confidence to really be different, then that could really encounter quite a lot of resistance. And so it just depends on your nature, what type of Capricorn you are. If, however, you're prepared to use the energy of Mercury's square with Pluto and Uranus's quincunx with the new moon and Mars to focus on interests you have that are much more free-spirited, this is where you can really express yourself, then that's fine. Your chances of powering forwards towards the summit of success are really boosted enormously. So it just depends on your nature. And just be aware, if you do push too hard in a situation where you are expected to be more conventional and you're feeling like you don't want to be conventional, Venus moves into your sector of potential separations around relationships. Certainly you can become much more deep thinking about certain ties from the 28 days from Thursday. So Venus in the 12th house is very reflective, but can point towards separation. So if you're in a business situation or a work situation, or you're dealing with a big organization and it really isn't going as you want, I would just try to future forward plan what the ramifications would be if you decide to speak up in too much of a volatile way, because it could have real consequences for you. But if you want to march all the way to the boardroom, sticking to the rules and regulations and making sure that you're fulfilling exactly what's expected of you, there's a great chance for progress. And also, as this week draws to a close, your ruling planet Saturn, which has been in retrograde since the third week of May, that comes to an end, and that's something to really celebrate. And if your finances have felt a bit limited, or there's been a contraction around your sense of self-worth, or you haven't been enjoying even eating and drinking as much as you have done in the past, next week, after the end of this week, I think things are going to improve for you, particularly from the 18th of October when Jupiter goes forwards in your second solar house too. But more about Saturn next time.